Petit chanou kung fu pour smoochy smoochy.
The most recent film to take the internet by storm is Minions: The Rise of Gru, and when it hit the theaters, the movie was met with resounding enthusiasm. The prequel for Despicable Me is filled with so many cool details, but we all know that the most interesting things happen behind the scenes. If you're ready to get a sneak peek behind the curtains of Minions: The Rise of Gru, let's get started.
But that was an epic fail. With X5, we can stream, share, swipe.
The first Despicable Me prequel was made back in 2015, and it's safe to say that it was met with good reviews. But the 2022 Minions second prequel was liked by the viewers even more, as it shows us Gru, a 12-year-old boy who's trying to become a villain. The Minions are more than happy to help little Gru become the villain we all know. Our little bad boss decides to do his best to join the supervillain supergroup The Vicious Six, but instead of accepting him, they become super mad at him. When things go terribly awry, the Minions work together to bring their leader to safety. Like any good story, things don't happen in a direct A to Z path, says the director Kyle. While there are zigzags, conflicts, fallouts, making up, and all of these other kinds of dynamics, the movie is actually set in the 1970s. Set movie features martial arts, mayhem, and the Minions clad in bell-bottoms. The main challenge with the Despicable Me universe is taking the characters, the Minions specifically, in new directions, says Kyle. On one hand, you have to stay true to who the Minions are, their characteristics, their wants, their values, but then create situations where deeper aspects of the characters come forward. Also, it wasn't that easy to intersect the Despicable Me Gru with the Minions, according to the director, but he had his partners to divide and conquer the many tasks required for an animated project. Kyle wasn't alone, as the co-directors Brad and Jonathan were always there. It's a lot to juggle at once, he explains. Kyle is focused on reels, cinematography, staging, and layout. Trying to intersect the Despicable Me Gru with the Minions was a big challenge here, he says. A lot of my experience working on these films, specifically with working with the producer, has been learning how to develop a rooting interest in the audience for the characters and developing stakes, Kyle explains. Speaking of the production, the director shared his thoughts and experience and admitted that it was his curiosity about working in the different aspects of filmmaking that created a path for directing. His advice for aspiring directors is about having a really strong perspective on your way into a story. He adds that they must also be open to letting everybody, from the voice actors to the storyboard artists to the animators, do their part to lift things up even further. The dream these days, with that thread of curiosity, is to move into areas that I haven't had a chance to explore so much, he says, noting that he'd like to work on sci-fi and fantasy projects someday, and if the Despicable Me universe continues to expand, he'll happily sit in the audience.
All I need is Otto. Where is Otto?
Punya poso para din la pata.
Needless to say, Minions: The Rise of Gru movies filled with the most iconic actors. Gru is voiced by Steve Carell. Otto, speaking Minionese, is by Pierre Coffin. Dolph played Svengeance, a Swedish roller skating villain. Jean-Claude Van Damme played Jean-Claude, and you can also hear the voice of Danny, Lucy, Julie, and Russell Brand. Speaking of the voice acting cast, the director Kyle said that he likes to think that the voice actor is the custodian for that character. We welcome lots of ad-libbing and improvisation because you never know what kind of gold you're going to find with spontaneity at that moment. Steve Carell is going to give you something so much stronger than you could ever imagine for that character, said Kyle. Vocal performance also requires technical skill. We might ask for something specific, like a little stutter on a word if the character is nervous, so we can hang the performance on that vocalization, the director says. Have you heard about the trend that is dubbed #GentleMinions and has accrued 5 million views on TikTok? Well, the internet has huge power, and right after Minions: The Rise of Gru hit the theaters, one TikToker, Bill, created one of the first posts on TikTok to take part in the trend. No one really expected this to become something huge, but eventually even execs from the Universal Pictures issued a formal acknowledgement of the trend. The video that Bill uploaded features a group of teens dressed in suit jackets moving up an escalator towards it's a movie theater, and the video has over 8.5 million views over the past week. Since then, the trend started growing and expanding all over the internet. Bill was invited for the interview with Variety, and the TikToker explained to the outlet, "My mate saw one of the first videos that was quite small at the time. We wanted to do it just for fun. We just chuckled in our suits and went straight to the cinemas. It was very spontaneous. We had our formal literally a couple of days before that. We all had our suits ready." Another TikTok user told Variety that they were really civil, we just kept mannered and watched the movie. "It wasn't until we exited the theater that we saw the other group. It kind of reminded me of the Peter Parker memes, with the different Spider-Men pointing at each other." The thing that Bill made became super popular because many people were around 10 years old when the first Minion movies came, and now they're 19 or 20, and for them, Minions: The Rise of GRU became the perfect storm of nostalgia and meme culture. The trend went viral, and Bill shared the groups of people wearing suits, and it kept on appearing in theaters. "I've heard from a couple of employees just on TikTok that it's been absolutely hectic the past couple of days," he told Variety. "They see one session with like 6 different groups showing up in suits, and it's just packed."
I count money, I count money, I count money. I swipe in a Humvee, that's what Carly I did.
We all know that the Minions language is unique and sometimes weird, but how did the filmmakers manage to record the Minions' voices? Well, you'd be surprised, but the voice was provided by one of the co-directors, Pierre Coffin. The Minions' language and the way they speak became iconic worldwide, and the Despicable Me franchise has finally explained how the Minions got their voice. Pierre Coffin's voice is the base of the Minions' voices, which is incredible. Pierre is also holding a masterclass as part of the annual Encounters Short Film and Animation Festival, so he is not a newbie in this film. However, the co-director explained that he and the team had some initial problems creating a voice for the Minions. "We knew that these little creatures needed to speak at some point, and we sent a clip in a rough form to a sound engineer in the States. When it came back, it felt synthetic and mechanic," Pierre said in one of his interviews. The main reason why the French director decided to provide the voice for the Minions himself was the fact that he never liked the results he had. Also, many people think that the Minionese doesn't make much sense at all, but according to Pierre Coffin, the noises that form the Minions' unique language include Spanish, French, Italian, and Indonesian words. But did you know that Minionese is also called banana language because the Minions are obsessed with bananas and they'll do literally anything to get some? We need to have little words here and there that people can understand, and that made the whole thing funny. And if you ever heard Minions talking, you probably heard familiar words coming out of their mouths. Plus, if you want to know exactly what the Minions are talking about, there is a special app called the Minionator, which helps you translate some words from Minionese to English. You can easily download it and understand what your favorite yellow creatures are saying. Is there anything else you'd like to know about the Minions: The Rise of GRU? Or if you have something to add, feel free to share your thoughts and any information in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
But I am going to be a super villain.